Hey, you're in the mix with the Vibrant Mix with Tasha, Tamiko, and Fred. Again, I almost said the wrong station, but that's not right. Live from the TLC Talk Radio studios. We have a great show. Yay! We have a great show lined up for you today. We have on the phone line, not the live line, Deacon Drew, Mr. Drew Sean Williams, who is the author of Authentic Words. And he's going to share his story with us about how he came to write this very interesting book, Words of Power. And I'm sure that's one of the messages he wants to get across to you today. But, you know, what's up to my co-host? Hey, Tamiko.
Hey, Tasha.
How you doing?
I'm good. It's Friday.
Yes, Jesus.
Yes,
Jesus. I guess we can say hello to Fred, I guess.
Hey, Fred.
You sound so chipper.
Yeah, I don't.
That's nice.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about you not bringing Tawana. I don't know how you feel. I don't know how I feel about that.
I know. We're getting used to having Tawana around.
Right. Where's Tawana?
It's not my fault.
It's not?
No.
And whose fault is it? Why didn't you bring her?
Because she's not allowed to come with me every week.
All right, then. That's fine. Drew, welcome to the show.
How you doing? Y'all clowning.
We listen. This is what we do. We we clown and act a fool because we're a vibrant mix.
Good deal.
We are a vibrant mix, and that's how we get down. Yep.
Good deal.
So we hit the news stories, and it's been an interesting set of news cycles because of our new president. And yeah.
That's not my president.
He's not your president? No? What?
No.
You're not feeling him?
No.
You're not trying to hear it?
No.
I personally still call President Obama my president.
Right.
I try not to say this man's name.
Uh-huh.
I just don't know what to call him. That man.
That man?
That man.
So President Trump is not in your vocabulary?
No.
You're like, who is that? So the latest thing, you can't even say the latest thing because every time you turn around.
There's something going on right now.
Which one?
Right. So the thing that kind of stuck out to me was this whole, this crazy pastor, alleged pastor, because I was raised that you don't, talk poorly about clergy. However, I ain't real inclined to believe. You just, that's how you feel?
Yeah, he's a fool pastor.
I'm not inclined to believe that he's legitimate. And I don't know how that sounds to other folk.
No one is. That's not far from anybody's feelings about him. I read the comments on a lot of the posts, the news posts. Everybody went in from your local hood brother. When I say everybody went in on this man, everybody smelled a rat.
12 dead ones.
From the beginning, it's like, what did he call he said the gang thugs? Yeah. They said they knew he was fake then.
Leaders.
Yeah, they said they knew he was fake when he said that.
Well, why as a Cleveland pastor would leaders reach out to you, like in Chicago? That doesn't even make sense. Then the other component is, where are the gang leaders at? Where are they hiding?
They're locked up
Kennedy,
or non-existent anymore.
What were you saying, Drew?
I'm going to be honest with you. There has not been a gang leader in the last 25 years.
Right.
Thank you.
The last two gang leaders are in a super maximum security prison in upstate Colorado.
Right.
In a supermax. In a supermax federal penitentiary in Colorado. So for a pastor who is behind hashtag Agent Orange, that's a little nickname for Trump.
I like that.
Well, it's stolen, Drew.
Agent Orange.
Hashtag Agent Orange had the audacity to, first off, his speech got me. It speaks about, well, I think Frederick Douglass, he's someone that needs to be more aware of. Have you forgotten the fact that he was the abolitionist that was freed, that was free from slavery?
Right.
That actually went to the White House once upon a time?
Yeah. So, so some background for the listeners. This is Pastor Darrell Scott, who's allegedly a mega pastor, a pastor of a mega church. He mentioned that gang leaders in Chicago reached out to him because they wanted to work with the president of the United States to bring unity and some sort of peace to the communities. But now he has backed away from said story and said that
because he would never say who actually reached out to him from Chicago.
The phantom gang leaders that are in prison. He was sleepy. He blamed his comments on a lack of sleep. That's
I
new.
looked at his Twitter account last night, and he steady talking smack like we're the ones who have a problem.
Doesn't Cleveland have its own problems?
Yes, they do.
So maybe he should start at home.
Yeah.
You know, there's an old gospel song. Say that again?
Mm-hmm. Let's be honest. Cleveland is on the verge of becoming another Detroit.
Okay.
That's the bottom line. Cleveland is on the verge of being another Detroit. The last time Cleveland was really popping was when the Cavaliers won the championship last year. Let's put it out there.
Exactly.
Let's just put that out there right now. Okay.
Right.
So, and you're a pastor of a mega church in Cleveland. I didn't know mega churches existed in Cleveland.
I don't know if they do or don't, but I know that this lie existed only in his head, and then it was blamed on this lack of sleep. Like, really?
And now he's talking mad. Like, how dare we?
Right.
How dare we?
How dare we what? Question him about the story he made up?
Question him for trying to help the poor people of Chicago.
Dude, go play in traffic. So, I'm probably that probably wasn't really professional, but I mean, don't be insulting to the people who are really here doing the work.
Right. And where did he come from? Why does he have access to the president to speak on anyone's behalf? I mean, I was wondering, where was Steve Harvey at? You know, you just met with Steve Harvey to discuss the issues of Chicago. Mm-hmm. So now you reach out and get this pastor from Cleveland.
You know, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go finish your statement, and I'm going to respond afterwards.
I was going to say that Steve Harvey, reports say that Steve Harvey felt blindsided and that he, you know, had a conversation with President Trump that didn't necessarily, that wasn't as unnerving, but when he came out for the cameras, it was, well, are you going to, you know, the reporters asked, well, what do you think about Obamacare? And then he responded with, you know, I'm going to dismantle that, hence the look on Steve's face. It was kind of like, wait a minute, that's not what we were talking about. So I would imagine he probably won't get another meeting with Mr. Harvey.
Oh, no.
Anytime soon, although people are angry about the first meeting. I don't know. What do you all think even about people meeting with President Trump? To me, I would think it would be futile because he's not the kind of person who takes feedback or understands others' points of view. So for me, I understand why somebody would want to meet with a national leader, but I guess you would have to have a national leader in the White House because clearly that's not what he's doing.
My overall thoughts in regards to Steve Harvey meeting with Trump is he didn't know. And most importantly, he thought he was doing a good thing, yet at the same time, when I paid attention to the backlash via social media, I looked at it from the outside looking in. I just saw somebody who just didn't know any better. This is somebody who really does not understand the cause of the African American community. Mm-hmm. This is someone that does not
and doesn't care to understand it.
Right, doesn't care to understand it. I've said this to certain friends of mine in conversation that you have a certain batch of black people. Those is all about the cause.
Okay.
those that are into Pan-Africanism. I'm a partial militant.
Okay.
I would consider myself to be a partial militant. I've studied, Brother Malcolm's teachings. I've understood, read pieces of Marcus Garvey, understood I grew up around, I had an aunt that had me very in tune with my roots, my race, my heritage, and who I am as a black man in this country. And I've had personal experiences dealing with racism to where I'm pro-black, 100%.
Right.
So, and you have another batch of black people that's all about this one goal, this common goal of getting out the hood, getting a house in the suburbs, having a good job, a good paying job with some benefits, and a nice family. The whole white picket fence, the whole deal.
Mm-hmm.
You have, all right, Steve Harvey falls into that category. Because I've seen Cleveland. I've seen Cleveland, which ironically Steve Harvey is from.
Right.
He's from Cleveland. Okay? I've seen every street that Steve Harvey grew up on, and where Bone Thugs-n-Harmony is from, and where my grandfather lived at. In a suburb called East Cleveland. Mm. That is not the place you should raise your children, take your kids to school at, and not to set a family from. Okay, it's impoverished. It is highly impoverished.
Okay.
Highly.
And so that's my concern with Pastor Scott. What could you focus on yours and let us do our work here?
Right. And this is now back to the pastor. You're supporting a guy that you're supporting a guy that. Well, let me rephrase. You're bringing up the issue within the city that I need to remind everybody ran Donald Trump out of during the run of his presidency. I mean, an entire city just scared Agent Orange out of the third largest city in the country.
This Agent Orange name is everything, Deacon Drew. Everything.
You're right. He wouldn't even get off the plane.
Yeah. Shout out to the Vietnam veterans that's listening right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
And then you have his is she his spokesperson? Forgive my brain freeze. Kellyanne Conway, who is saying that, quoting a non-existent massacre, and then saying she misspoke. Like, even Chelsea Clinton got on that. Like, please don't make up stories. Please don't do that. And so when you are used to having your way, when there is privilege, whatever that privilege looks like for you, you're going to do whatever you have to do to maintain that privilege. If that means lie, if that means make up, if that means villainize. He's so inauthentic, contrary to your book title, that even after DNA testing, he still was going after the Central Park Five, that they were still guilty. Yes. Because, of course, they were guilty. They raped this white woman. Of course they were guilty. Of course these savages did this. Of course they did. This DNA evidence doesn't make any sense. And so when you have that kind of privilege, you can, I guess, ignore the truth. And that's the sad piece.
It's kind of sad that we live in a day and age where we put a guy in the office that is, I've always said to myself, and I said this to a couple of former co-workers today, I still refuse to trust a man that has filed 9 bankruptcies. I refuse.
Yeah.
And any man that files 9, on the business side, they might be smart because you consolidate a lot of debt in order to continue your business, but 9 times, bruh.
The goal then is to get out of paying somebody. I mean, that's what one could speculate, and reasonably so.
He has a paper trail. Many people don't know that Donald Trump has a trail of screwing people over to get what he wants. Mm-hmm. Okay? Now, someone pointed out a very interesting fact about Donald Trump. Okay. Donald Trump has the what's the word I'm looking for? He has the ingenuity